Have you ever wondered why Khloe is everyone's favorite Kardashian sister? I'm Dr. Dan, I'm a communication and storytelling coach, and we're gonna break down why Khloe Kardashian is the favorite of them all. It's pretty evident, and I'm gonna break down from a communication and brain-based understanding, she is so likable and the favorite one. I think this is an important topic for all of us who are trying to reach more people with our communication and with our influence. What makes Khloe so likable? And that's a question for you. Do you wanna be liked?
Yep!
If you say no, you lie about other things too. It is wired within us to want to be more likable. And I'll admit, one of the reasons why I did enjoy watching the Kardashians is because they have such an entrepreneurial mentality. Their family is very entrepreneurial. They're thinking out of the box. They build things that people want and value enough to pay for. That is the definition of business and entrepreneurship. To be able to create something that people want and you create more value in the world. And they're willing to exchange it with their hard-earned money, something they have value for, but they have more value for what you can give to them or what you can offer them than their money. And that's the definition of business. So I teach and coach so many entrepreneurs on how to better communicate, because when you break down any successful business, the key ingredient was their ability to communicate. Warren Buffett said those who know how to communicate will easily make 50% more than those who don't. When you understand what it takes to get somebody to know, like, and trust you, you can essentially write your ticket as long as you're creating value. And so with Khloe, she has become the most likable for very specific reasons, and I'm gonna break them down for you. As a side note, this entire topic revolves around the fact that humans are more social than we are analytical. Our need to belong to a group is just as biologically driven as our need for food, water, and oxygen. Being a part of a group is in our wiring. And in order for us to actually master the world, we were gonna have to work together. But what happened is that most of us were taught to believe that our brains evolved to do abstract reasoning and rationalize through logic. However, recent evidence suggests that our brains are wired for social interaction and the ability to work well with others. Why does this matter to you? Because the things that I'm gonna tell you about with Khloe and why she's so likable are things that you need to adopt in your own life. If you're interested in actually having more influence, think about this. The way our bodies are designed is that emotional pain is almost just as bad, if not worse, than physical pain. People that have been through a breakup or a loss or a death, you literally have a pain that many would rate as worse than a broken bone. Why would that be in our DNA? I assess this because I think, why would God create us that way? Maybe, just maybe, He knew that it was going to require a tribe of people to figure the world out. Whether it be building buildings in cities or fending off lions, we were going to have to work together. And this social desire that we have to be accepted and to be liked is inherently put within each of us so that we could go farther and do more and experience all the world God had us to experience. So I go back to why Khloe is the favorite sister, is because she's the most likable. Why is she the most likable? Number one is because she's the most relatable. It is a fact that she deals with more weight struggles than her sisters, and she has since being a child. And she's very open and honest about it. Well, guess who else struggles with weight problems? The majority of the people who she's speaking to. So what does she do better than her sisters is that she relates with them because she's open with the struggles, with the flaws. When you start to study the brain, you realize your mess is actually your message. Your power comes from your weakness and your flaws and your vulnerability. Khloe does that better than anybody else. So her weight was one issue. The other issue is she's very open with her mental health struggles and the challenges of being accepted or living up to the status or the success or the achievements of her other siblings. Well, guess who relates with that? We do. Humans do. We are drawn to somebody who has flaws. Khloe is vulnerable. She has flaws, she admits them, and because of that, we relate with her. When we relate with her, we like her. When we like her, she becomes our favorite. I was talking to my wife about Khloe to see if she agreed that she is the favorite. And she's like, well, I don't know if she is, but then I started to describe why she is, and my wife was like, yep, you're right. The thing that got her was when I said, babe, think if you went to coffee with Khloe versus, say, Kim or one of the others, how would you feel around Khloe? It just feels like you would not be judged. And I'm not saying the others would judge you. It's just that the way Khloe represents herself, you feel like she would be the one that would never judge you because of her history, because of her past, because of her struggles. And so why is this important? Because when you're creating a message and you're crafting your own story, it's not about how great you are. I talk about this all the time and teach this to my clients, is the power of your story is actually in your mess. But it must be balanced and structured and delivered with you being a leader. So it's not that you just struggled and haven't figured it out. You have something to tell them that they can learn from and they can anchor into as you being a leader, but your story helps them see themselves out of their struggle, but it required the struggle. I was also recently talking to somebody else about this, and they were talking about Khloe's brand of jeans. I think it's called Good American Jeans. And this particular individual said, I fought it, I wasn't gonna get a pair, but then I did, and then I got another one. And I love them so much, I tell everyone about them. And she made a note that the reason I tried them is because I felt like Khloe understands the sizes of a woman. I'm not trying to look like somebody else. I can look like myself, be myself, and feel good about it. And so essentially she's created a brand of jeans that make women feel good about themselves because they feel accepted, they feel understood, they feel like Khloe and her brand gets them. And the last thing about Khloe is her relationship struggles. She shares her flaws, her struggles, her vulnerabilities with Lamar. That was the first one way back when. That's when I was watching. There was a breakup there. He got into drugs. He had a bad relationship with his dad. She still went by his side. They tried to work things out. This relates to the average human because who else has relationship struggles? Everyone does. So Khloe speaks to all of us, and then her relationship with Tristan and the cheating and the scandals, all of those speak to the fact that she is human. And even though she's on the big screen in the spotlight, there are a lot of aspects to her life that are just like us. So being relatable is one of the first steps to being likable. That is why I believe Khloe is the favorite Kardashian sister. What's the takeaway for you is that you gotta assess your messaging in your communication and what you represent. Are you just trying to look like somebody everybody should follow, or do they relate with you? Do they feel understood by you? And I'm telling you right now, when you nail this with your story, because it's the greatest tool and weapon to reach the decision-making brain of the people you're trying to influence, when your mess becomes your message and you have a balance between your vulnerability and the power that makes you a great leader, that's when you become likable, you become trustworthy, and you become influential. If you need help structuring your message appropriately to reach more people, build your brand, market better, or convert, there's a link below to find out if me and my team can help you. We would love to help you take your message to the masses and build the thing that you have inside you. And hey, if you disagree with me and think that somebody else is the favorite sister, leave a comment. I'll debate you. We'll talk about it. Just spell my name right. Dr. Dan, I'm out.